So from the previous video, we have created a happy path on this one, and what we want to add is a different way of sending data. So in essence, we just do this, copy and paste it here, but instead of having done, we don't have done, and it should be and has a status code when called post, even with even if we don't provide done the done property. Default of done should still be false. So in essence, if we do this, actually if we do this, it should be the same thing. This is to do, we just change it to do just for the sake of making sure that it is a different to do. And as you can see, it has an error because should of undefined. As you can see, done is undefined on this one, and as if we look at the database, we will see that there is no done in this case, which makes it an error. So what we'll need to do is, this is where we add the default for false, and if we test it again, it should have no errors, which is great. Now let's talk about cleaning the database, because we are now sort of adding a lot of stuff here. So what we can do, I'll just delete this for now. What we can do is, in the test, we want to have like IDs. Then from this one, after that, we push the ID here, add the ID in the IDs array for cleaning. So we will use that later, and also here. Now we'll just add a function called after. So that means after all of these it statements has been executed, we will execute a function here to clean up the database. Clean up the database. So nope, we don't need that. We'll just have write file sync. We'll just have we'll get all the IDs on this one. So we don't want to remove the whole database, but we just want to remove, let's say, particular set. So let's just retain one, just to show you that if it should still this is the original to do. So okay, let's just have that, and let's clean up the database. App equals get. Because I don't want to like do a copy paste, let's just put it here, because we are using the same thing here. Okay, we copied this whole thing. Actually, we can create a library. This is where the part where I am a little bit read file or read database. This is more of like me refactoring everything because it becomes a little bit unwieldy. Or let's rename it to get to dos. So exports.get to dos is equals to let's get the file name and encoding, and we'll get this one here. Let's add this one. File name would always be a string, and the encoding is also a string. This reads the file and sets and gets the to-dos. Reads the file and gets the to-dos. Okay, so with that in mind, we'll just get this one, get the to-dos, and return to-dos, which we will add a param which is an array of done boolean id string and the text string for now, but we know that it has something more. Not param, it should be returns. There you go. So get to dos, we copy it, we const to dos is equals to get to dos, file name encoding. Let's import it out. We don't need read file sync because it's already part of the system. Get to dos is equals to require dot slash live dot get to dos. There you go. So we just copy this and replace this. Now what we can do is again to dos is equals to get to dos using file name and encoding, and then do a splice, which allows us to well, go first with all the IDs, and then find the index of the ID itself. Const index equals this one. Find the index and delete the ID. Oops, because this is where we should use this one, find index, not index of. Actually, yeah, we can use a different method here, but for now, find index is something that is a bit more intuitive. So if index is is greater than or equal to 0, that makes sure that it's not going to do a buggy part. Let's add to dos splice index and then the delete count, which is 1. And then we write, I'm going to do a shortcut here, which is the file name. And then for the string, I'm going to use stringify, and with the encoding here. And I'll just create a new to-dos object with null and 2. After that, let's test it out. As you can see, we'll go to the object itself and see what will happen. And actually, it didn't change, because even if I write onto this one, as you can see, it was able to test. Oh, yep, no test has been found. Let's just put it outside so that it will not sort of have problems. Move. No. For now, no. And let's just do this. Let's just test it out again so that it doesn't mess up with what we are doing with the test. Okay, there's a problem. Live get to do. Yeah, I forgot the live. So let's test it out. And now it works. So there you go. After everything has been added, let's sort of git status. Let's use this one. What did we do here? So git. So let's just click plus. Git commit m. That has been staged. Refactor. Put it on root. So we have we should add also the roots folder. There you go. Then let's also add a index, this one. So git commit m feat add create to do, and then we just add this one up. Git commit m test add testing for create to do's, and lastly git commit m which is chore. What's that again? What did we do? Add UUID, and there you go. Going back, what we did just now is to refactor. Oops. Refactor the whole thing. Let's just put after. Oh, well, not really. It's better to put it this way for now. Now we have a happy path, which is this one, and we have another happy path when even if we didn't put done, it should still work, and the default for that file is, or I mean default of that property is false. And but of course we want to also test it in such a way that what if the user or the developer who is calling the API didn't follow the rules that we have set? Then we should also test for that one, which we will be doing in the next episode.